Good morning. I am going to start with the new chapter Microbes in Human Welfare. See, what are microbes? Microorganisms and microbe is one and the same thing. And in this, microbes or microorganisms are those which cannot be seen with the naked eye. You can't see on your hand, on the table. They are present everywhere. They are in the soil, water, air, inside the bodies of living organism even. You know that they are found in thermal vents where the temperature is very high, deep in soil, under snow. Some of the archaebacteria are there, some of the spores are there of the bacteria. They form a hard wall around it, and they can even found in the acidic environment. You know what are microbes? Yes, you can see in the diagram. These days, as we have heard, coronavirus. So protozoa, bacteria, fungi, plant virus, viroids, proins, these are all you have studied in class 11th. So protozoa, I can give you one example like amoeba is there, plasmodium which cause malaria, which is present in the female anopheles mosquito. We can see the mosquito, but we cannot see the plasmodium in that. Bacterias, you can see curd, but can you see the bacteria in the curd? No. You can see the fungi growing on any eatable, but you can't see the spores of the fungi. So these are the diagrams of various protozoans, various bacteria. Even though some of the microbes are having a lot of advantage for us, but many of them cause disadvantage also. You can see here virus. You can see here this is bacteriophage. Bacteriophage is what? The virus which enters into the bacteria, that is called as a bacteriophage. Then adenovirus which cause respiratory infection. Then tobacco mosaic virus, that is rod shaped virus. So you can see different diagram. You know that in the virus the topmost part is head, then is the collar, and then is the tail, and then are the tail fibers, or we can say the hairs by which it can attach to the bacteria. And within the head the genetic material of the virus is present. Outside virus is non-living, but when it comes inside the body of the host it becomes living. Why it becomes living? Because they use the machinery of the host for its multiplication. Here you can see a fungal colony, and here are some of the bacteria. We have already studied in class 11th that there are various shapes of the bacteria: rod shaped, spiral shaped, comma shaped. So you can see here, um, wait, you can see here curd. Can you see curd here? Yes, you can see curd. Curd is formed by adding small amount of curd only to a warm milk, and that what a small amount of the curd which we add in the milk, that is called as a starter. What is it called as? Starter. So what is there in the curd? That is the lactobacillus, or we can say a lactic acid bacteria which is present in the starter. They multiply at a suitable temperature and converts the milk into curd. The acid is released by lactobacillus or lactic acid bacteria, which during their growth, when the bacteria grow, then that coagulates the milk, fine, and partially digest milk protein casein. In the milk a milk protein is present which is called as a casein. So it releases a acid which helps in the coagulation of milk. So why should we eat curd? Firstly, it increases the vitamin B12. amount, thus increasing the nutrient quality of the milk. This is the first benefit. Second, these are the bacteria which are very good for our intestine, and also it checks the disease causing microbes in the stomach. Okay, so that is why it is being recommended to have a curd once in a day, as it increases the useful bacteria in the body.